welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you're new around here, I am Merrit. I share videos all about natural living and motherhood, sustainability, and along those lines, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that I don't buy anymore. So sustainability has become very important to myself and my family. Over the last couple of years, we kind of have been on the constant lookout for things that we can reduce our waste on or purchase reusable items so that we can stop using disposables altogether. That has been a huge goal of mine, is reducing the disposables used by my family and my home in the last couple of years. And so with that in mind, like I said, I'll be talking about 10 things that we absolutely don't buy anymore. And not only have these changes been really good for the environment because our family is no longer producing waste in these areas, it also has been really good for our wallets. So that was actually probably the initial thing that got us interested in switching from disposable products to reusable wherever we can. Is we were still, my husband and I were both in college, we weren't married yet, we were, living in an apartment and trying to save money wherever we could. And so we just started swapping out disposable items for reusable because it would be normally a single purchase price point that would last, weeks, months, years, whatever the need may be for the product, rather than continually buying these disposable products over and over again. So for example, we were never a family to really use paper plates or napkins or anything like that, but just as an example, if you stop buying paper plates and just buy one set of nice reusable dishes that you dishwash, it's just that one single purchase. You don't have to keep buying paper plates. And so like I said, that was kind of our initial introduction into the sustainable reusable products genre, I guess, and it has only become more of a passion since then. And like I said, we are kind of constantly on the lookout for areas in our home where we can reduce our waste and switch to reusable wherever possible. We aren't currently trying to go zero waste, but who knows what the future may hold. Like I said, it's kind of become a fun little game seeing what we can switch out and where, how we can kind of, reduce our waste as much as possible, and looking for different little ways that we can cut back. But anyways, with that kind of rambly intro out of the way, let's dive right into the 10 products that I no longer buy for my family. All right, first item is ZIPLOC bags. This is actually our most recent switch. We have been looking for a reusable ZIPLOC bag alternative for a while now, and we couldn't really find one that fit within our price point and that was still high enough quality to make it a long-term solution. We had bought a previous set of what we had hoped to be reusable bags, but they weren't dishwasher safe. So basically the little Ziploc ended up kind of, just the whole bag got warped and it wasn't able to be used after being dishwashed. And my husband and I, we weren't about to hand wash Ziploc bags every single time we use them. That just wouldn't be sustainable for our family. And so when finding a reusable alternative to a disposable product, you have to kind of make sure it is a realistic switch. Otherwise, if it is too much of a pain adding it into your life, you will just go right back to the disposables because that's, just a heck of a lot easier. So the main things that we wanted out of a Ziploc bag replacer was it had to absolutely 100% be dishwasher safe, because we tried hand washing those, the couple of ones that we didn't end up ruining in the dishwasher, and they just sat on our counter for like months because no one wanted to hand wash a Ziploc bag. So those were out. And then on the flip side, they also just couldn't be too expensive because, especially with Ziploc bags, we kind of wanted to build up a nice little stash. And so there are some more popular brands like ZipTop, I believe, is one. There's another one at Target sells. I can't quite remember the name off the top of my head, but they're kind of more on the pricey side. It was maybe like $10 to $15 depending on the size of a single Ziploc bag. And again, we wanted a stash that just wasn't going to be feasible for us at this time. We weren't ready to drop $50 to $75 on a collection of reusable Ziploc bags. So we stayed on the hunt, and I'm glad we did because I found the absolute best option for us, and we absolutely love our reusable silicone Ziploc bags. We got a set of, I believe, 5 or 6 off of Amazon for about $30, which was obviously costs more than a bag of Ziploc, disposable bags. But like I said, you're not having that, constant repurchasing of disposable products. So in the long run, it really will save you money. And we absolutely love them. They work in the dishwasher, fridge, freezer. I think you can even put them in like the oven or something crazy like that. We haven't tried that yet, but Yeah, they're great. The seal is very high quality, which obviously is another thing that we absolutely need if we're going to be, you know, sending my husband to work using these instead of Ziploc bags. They needed to be, you know, portable and not dumping the food out. So yeah, we love these Ziploc bags. All the products I'm going to be talking about in this video that I have found as solutions for my family to use instead of disposables, I'll link in the description box if you're interested in them. But yeah, so they're dishwasher safe. They were very inexpensive for what they were, and we kind of got a nice little startup collection all at once, and they're actually high quality, and the zip is super efficient and well made. So very happy with that switch. The next thing that we don't buy anymore are paper towels. And we actually didn't really mean to stop buying paper towels. We had talked for a long time about how to stop using paper towels, but we never really fell in love with a solution. We always kind of thought that we just weren't really quite ready to stop buying paper towels. But one day we just ran out and kind of just on a whim decided to give it a shot and just not buy more and see what happened. Worst case scenario, we obviously could just run out to the store and get some, but we just kind of wanted to test the waters. And we just ended up never buying paper towels since. We didn't really find a single thing that we couldn't just use regular dish towel for. We got a couple of those kind of reusable Swedish dishcloth things. My husband is a bigger fan of them than I am. I just kind of find they get a little too grody too fast, and I don't love them. But my husband does, so they might be for you. They're not for me, but he uses them and I just don't. I prefer using either microfiber cloths or dish towels for whatever, depending on like, you know, what I need to wipe up or use the towel for. And yeah, that has been a huge cost saver because paper towels, I feel like you can just go through them so fast and they're, you know, I mean, they're not the most expensive thing in the world, but if you're constantly buying them and going through them, that price really adds up. So yeah, we were really happy with how easy it was to actually just cold turkey stop using paper towels. All right, the next one is a big one, and it might not apply for everyone, but I know a lot of my followers are mamas out there, and so you all will appreciate the amount of diapers that a baby can go through is astronomical. And so with the sustainability mindset that my husband and I had adopted, we kind of always knew that we were really interested in attempting cloth diapering. And it was something that kind of I really, really wanted to do. I had a strong motivation. I got the cloth diapers before my daughter arrived, but I was always a little nervous about, okay, but am I actually going to be able to stick with this? Is it actually going to be, you know, easy enough for me to, you know, use instead of disposable diapers? And I'm here to tell you at almost 1 year postpartum, my daughter is almost a year old in, oh God, like 2 or 3 weeks. And we have used nothing but cloth diapers since my daughter was about 3 weeks old. We did have to use disposables the first 3 weeks of her life just because she was so teensy tiny. She didn't fit into her diapers yet. But since we made the switch, we have pretty much exclusively used cloth. There's been a couple occasions where we just kind of temporarily used disposables. One being when we went on a vacation, we brought our cloth diapers and kind of used them until we ran out. Obviously, we couldn't do diaper laundry while we were on the road, and so we just used disposables for the rest of the trip. And then a couple other times when we've like forgot to do the diaper laundry and we happened to luckily have some disposables left over and we quickly switched into those while we washed our diapers. But other than that, we have been a 100% cloth diapering family, and it feels so good knowing that, I mean, I forget what the number is. I want to say it's, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 diapers is what a baby goes through in the first year of life. And that's just crazy because those diapers all go to landfills, and it takes 500 years for a single diaper to break down in a landfill. So just multiply that by the number of diapers used by just a single baby in a single year. And yeah, I'm honestly pretty proud that our family made it work so that we didn't contribute to that mass amount of mess. And I strongly encourage, if you have any interest in cloth diapering, to look into it. It's something I've become very, very passionate about. I would be happy to answer any questions you have if you would like to reach out to me. But yeah, as a cloth diapering mama of 1 year, it is absolutely possible, and it is not as intimidating as you may be thinking it is. Okay, number 4 on the list of items that I no longer purchase is actually feminine products. So a couple of years ago, I actually started using a menstrual cup, and more out of curiosity than anything. It just seemed really cool. I loved the idea of not having to, you know, again, spend the money every single month on pads or tampons or what have you. So it would be, you know, obviously save money. It's a lot better for my health because there's no bleach or toxic fragrance that is in traditional disposable feminine hygiene products. And because of that, honestly, my periods have been a lot lighter and I don't get cramps at all. I've heard a lot of other women find that's the case as well once they switch to menstrual cups. I haven't had a single leak since I switched to menstrual cups, so I find that they are more effective than tampons at preventing leaks. I am absolutely in love with it, and I can say with 100% confidence that I actually forget that I am on my period when I use a menstrual cup. So if that doesn't sell you to just give it a try, I don't know what will. It's unbelievable. I highly recommend it. It is life-changing. I'm just gonna say it. It's freaking life-changing. So for anyone that has a period and you are interested in sustainable products and switching from disposable to reusable, I highly recommend checking out menstrual cups. I do also have period underwear. I don't find I use it as much just because I'm so happy with my menstrual cups that I don't find I have a need for period underwear. I did use it more when I was like immediately postpartum, but in kind of regular day-to-day period life, I just rely on my menstrual cups and I love them. And yeah, it feels good not having to buy and stock and worry about having tampons and pads and stuff on hand. It's just, can't speak highly enough of it. Bet you didn't think this video was gonna get that personal, huh? There you go. All right, next up, face wipes. I used to use face wipes for removing makeup at the end of the night. Sometimes I would use it to cleanse my face, but mostly I just used it to remove makeup, and then I'd use an actual facial cleanser to wash my face. But again, I have been switching to non-toxic products. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm very interested in clean living, non-toxic products and all of that jazz. And so with that, obviously, I wanted cleaner skincare, and those face wipes just had a bunch of harsh chemicals that were doing no favors for my skin. So I switched to a makeup remover cloth, and I absolutely love it. Again, one more thing that I don't have to keep repurchasing because I just bought that one. I think they're like maybe $15, $20, just little kind of washcloth looking thing, and you just wet it with warm water, wipe it around your face, and all of your makeup comes off, and I love it. That's all I use for taking off my makeup. I do still use little cotton rounds with eye makeup remover to get mascara off. You can use the makeup eraser to get your mascara off, like it totally works. I'm just concerned about like all that tugging and kind of harsh rubbing on my sensitive skin around my eyes as well as my eyelashes. So for now, I've opted to just use cotton rounds and what's it called? Eye makeup remover for that single part of my face. I am looking to purchase some reusable cotton rounds in the future though, but I have a kind of a backstock of the disposable ones that I'm just kind of, you know, working my way through. All right, so my camera cut me off. That seems to happen with every video I film. I'm sorry about that, but what I was saying is I just have a backstock of the disposable cotton rounds, and I'm kind of working my way through, and once I run out of those, I will just be repurchasing a set of reusable cotton rounds to use for that in the future. So again, one more thing that I won't have to buy. That's a bonus for this video. I wasn't planning on talking about those. All right, next up, let's see what we have. I have like my little list of items I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so loofahs for the shower. So I used to use just like the little plastic round loofah sponges in the shower, and those you're supposed to replace every 3 months just because they are a really grody place to attract and grow and harbor bacteria and just all sorts of yucky stuff. So you're supposed to kind of, you know, be replacing those frequently. And so while they're not totally disposable, like they're not a one-time use disposable item, I still kind of counted them as disposable because you're not supposed to keep those, you know, for a long period of time. So I started looking into alternatives to that, and I found these little silicone kind of scrubby brushes. I'm not really sure what to call them. They're just kind of silicone loofahs, I guess. Again, I'll have everything linked in the description box if you're curious what I'm talking about. But it's just this little silicone brush that, you know, I put my body wash on and just use in the shower, and it has been working great. I've had them for a couple of years now. They're holding up awesome. They still lather up the body wash nice, and I, you know, get suds and stuff. So yeah, I have been very happy with it, and it also gives a nice light exfoliation with the, it has a bunch of different kind of bristles. It kind of looks like a hairbrush, but without the handle, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I've been very happy with that. It also actually has little nubs on the back that is supposed to be used for like massaging yourself, your like muscles if you want. I actually haven't used that, but it's there if you're interested. Okay, next up, kind of along the similar lines, I don't buy dishwashing sponges for the kitchen anymore. We also switched that out for silicone dish sponges. This might have actually been one of the very first things that I switched from disposable to reusable. I'm trying to remember if there was anything before that, but it was definitely a very early on switch, and I have been using it for years and years. I would say over 5 years at this point, and I absolutely love it. Since it was kind of my first switch, it did take a little bit of getting used to for me. I feel like I remember you just needing to kind of switch the way that you like, you know, use it, because it's not a traditional spongy sponge, so it doesn't like, you know, soak up the soap. It kind of obviously sits on top because silicone can't absorb things. But if I remember correctly, it just kind of, you know, took a little bit of experimentation to figure out, you know, how best to use it. But like I said, I've been using it over 5 years. I absolutely love it. It cleans my dishes great. It does suds up if you know, use it correctly. And yeah, I really love it. You can run it through your dishwasher, and so you can just, you know, clean it and then keep using it. I will use the same silicone one for like a year or so. The only reason I've ever actually stopped using one is I've been washing knives, and it like, you know, a heavy kitchen knife, and it like, you know, cuts the silicone sponge. So yeah, they just kind of keep on going. So you buy one and they're good for like ever. So loving that. And yeah, you don't have to use gross, like the kitchen sponges, they get all gross and like wet and moldy and just gross to touch. None of that with a silicone dish sponge. So highly recommend those. They're also a really easy, cheap switch if you're looking to kind of dip your toe in the water. Next up, straws. I love drinking out of straws. Always have. It's just something that I really enjoy. I don't know, is that a weird thing to say? But I finally made the switch over to silicone drinking straws a couple years ago. I also have one of those kind of collapsible straws to bring with me on the go, so that I don't have to use disposable straws while out and about in the world. Although 2020, we haven't been doing too much out and about recently, but I still have a straw. But yeah, I absolutely love my silicone straws. The only thing I will say about those is we do have to hand wash them, which is kind of a pain. You are technically able to dishwash them. They won't get ruined, but I have found that the silicone will kind of absorb the smell and taste of my dishwashing detergent. And that's also another one of the products that I haven't switched over to a non-toxic version yet, because I haven't found one that I like and that does a good enough job for my needs. So yeah, I have been still hand washing the silicone straws so that they don't end up tasting like my toxic dishwasher powder. But other than that, I absolutely love them. They're great. And yeah, I have nothing bad to say. Okay, and the last thing is something that I am pretty passionate about, is we don't buy bottled water. I was never a huge bottled water like buyer, purchaser, consumer. For a while when I was living in apartments before we moved into a house with like a fridge with a filtered water dispenser thing, my husband and I did start stocking bottled water in the house, and it's just not something that I agree with. Let's say that. I just feel like there is no point to it. I'm gonna try and keep my soapbox short and sweet, but it's just bottled water, it's just terrible for the environment. It's awful for the environment, and you can just as easily carry bottled water around with a reusable water bottle. I have a Yeti tumbler that I absolutely love. I just fill it up every single day and carry it around with me in the house. If we go out, I bring it with me out. I love it. There's a reusable water bottle for everyone's different needs. So yeah, and on top of the, waste issue, the fact that the plastic used in plastic water bottles is not BPA free, which means that BPA is able to leach into the water that is in the disposable water bottles, which is just horrible for you. You shouldn't be consuming BPA. If you haven't heard about the reasoning why BPA is so bad for you, I definitely urge you to do a quick Google search and learn all about BPA and why you should not be ingesting it. So yeah, we don't buy plastic water bottles ever anymore. And yeah, that's the last thing on my list. So there we go, short and sweet little soapbox on plastic water bottles for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hearing a little bit about my sustainability efforts and what I am doing in my home to reduce our waste and at the same time reduced our wallet. Nope, reduced our bills, budget, I don't know, save some money. Yeah, I think that's it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Please give this video, if you liked it, a thumbs up. I cannot talk today. Please give me a thumbs up anyways, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.